One team seeks its first victory of the year in their home opener. The other looks to advance to a perfect 2-0 so far in the young 2023 season. It's interconference women's soccer action here from the soon to be officially renamed, I should say, Peter Mazzaferro Field at Swenson Athletics Complex on the campus of Bridgewater State University in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bears Sports Network. I'm Matt Donahue.
And I'm Luke Mansfield.
Bridgewater State looking for its first victory. They've played just one match so far, a loss at MIT over last weekend. Suffolk, meanwhile, comes into this with a win in its only officially recorded game of the year so far. Last Friday, a 2-1 victory over Elms College. They also drew 0-0 against UMass Dartmouth earlier this week. A whole lot of turnover in this Bridgewater side since the last time we saw them here at the Swenson Athletic Complex. Certainly a lot of players have graduated. I know you and I were just talking about this before the broadcast, Luke. Players like Delaney Langton, Michelle Belcher, who's now an assistant coach with this Bridgewater side. And BSU is really looking to establish themselves as a force with a very different looking squad from last season. Last time these two squads met was a year ago yesterday in Boston. Bridgewater actually won that one 5-0. Looking to post a victory this evening in, again, their home opener, their first match of the year here at Peter Mazzaferro Field, and we're underway. It's Audra McDuffie, who can't quite get it to her target on the side there. Starting in goal for the Bears is the sophomore Logan Levesque from Bristol, Rhode Island. Got the start just the other night as well against MIT. For Suffolk, it's going to be the freshman Arden Ferrari Henry from Atkinson, New Hampshire, getting the start for the Rams this evening. And she has started in both of the matches Suffolk has played so far as well. Bears looking to attack early, trying to get it over to Jessica Duran, but she can't quite keep a foot on it, and it's going to go Suffolk's way. Throw in from Alyssa Belmont from East Bridgewater, a Cardinal Spellman graduate. A few players from the Bridgewaters here on this Suffolk side. Up ahead to McKenna Columbus from Bridgewater, a BR grad. And it's taken away by BSU. Lessard trying to go the other way with it. Bears have just one goal on the season so far, again in that MIT match. Olivia Robard trying to chase it out by the corner. Bears able to keep it in, and it's going to come back around midfield to Sydney Dewhurst. Dewhurst from East Bridgewater, a senior. But a little bit of a dribbler is plenty for Ferrari Henry to handle. Dicey at midfield already, and it's going to stay with Suffolk. Belmont in a little bit of a duel on the near side here with Bailey Brown from Plymouth. Goes out and it'll stay with the Rams.
Bailey Brown drew a yellow card in the first game of the season.
Never something you strive for, but it happens in the course of play. Bears trying to go the other way with it now and maintain stronger possession. That one just a little bit too much for Brown to get to. And it's a throw in for Columbus. Well, this Bears team certainly not having a terrible go of it just yet, but again, trying to find a little bit of a new identity after last season. Having some heavy hitters like Delaney Langton, like we mentioned, Belcher, a couple of others either graduate or sort of transition in terms of their roles with the side. Throw in for BSU here. It's going to come to Abigail Shea from Somerset.
One of those newer faces just in her sophomore year, and now she's transitioned over into a starting role for the Bears.
A little bit of nutmeg action there by McDuffie, and the Bears are trying to come the other way. They're in Ram territory. Shea up ahead, trying to hit McDuffie again. And that one is going to be kicked out, presumably for a corner. I believe that was Porter who got her boot on that. So it'll be the Bears with the first corner of the evening. Looks like it's going to be Robarge taking it. Olivia Robarge, the sophomore from Pepperell, got the start at forward tonight. Just about 3.5 minutes in. Up, bouncing around. Not quite cleared by Suffolk. A little bit of a duel just outside the 18. Bears are going to try to keep it on their side, and that's exactly what they'll do. Lessard up ahead to Sweeney. Lessard again trying to set someone up, but that's going to miss the target for a goal kick instead for the Rams. So already in the scorebook, Arden Ferrari Henry owns the only save of the night by either keeper. Takes one out to midfield, and the Bears immediately trying to chase the advantage, but that looked like it was a little bit too hot to handle. And swept out of the side by Alicia Beebe. Senior from Marlborough got the start on defense for the Rams this evening. Just about 4.5 minutes into the first home match of the year for BSU. Chase over to the near side. That one's going out, and it's going to stay with the Bears. Throw in for Jessica Duran, the freshman from Gardner, getting the start today. She will, in fact, I stand corrected, yield to Brown. Duran receives the throw in. A little bit of a duel. Brown trying to set somebody up, but nobody's there to be set up, and it is Ferrari Henry who comes out for the catch.
Bears have played well, very aggressive. A lot of it's been played down in front of the net of Suffolk.
Case in point, that was Abigail Shea just breezing right through there, trying to keep the possession in Rams territory. It's going to go the other way, but BSU has the numbers advantage so far on the far side. Kicked out, I believe, by Lessard, and it's going to stay with Suffolk. As we mentioned, Michelle Belcher last year, by a long shot, this program's leading goal scorer and leader in assists, and it really wasn't even close. Now an assistant coach for this BSU side. Certainly seems like her strong, aggressive offensive philosophy is playing out here at Peter Mazzaferro Field tonight. Rams getting close. That one's a little bit of a sidewinder, and it's just in front of Levesque. No harm, no foul for the moment. Just a couple of inches off. Logan Levesque with the goal kick now, the sophomore from Rhode Island. A couple of young keepers in net tonight for both of these sides. Play stopped, foul, and it's BSU ball. Bears, in fact, will take just a very deep free kick. Try to give it some distance. That's a good ball. Some setup, a little bit of a header. It's dribbling around, but Suffolk able to clear. A whistle and a foul, but it looked like some fairly quick-thinking defense. I believe Avery Porter, the freshman from Oregon, who was able to initially put it out of the way. But a whistle and a foul, and a player is down. We're going to see who in just a second if we can get a look at the number. Looks like it's McDuffie. And she is up and back on her feet, thankfully.
She was the one who went up for the header initially, and I think coming down she got hit by one of the Suffolk players. Looks like she'll stay in here.
Certainly no ill intent, but something you never wish to see. So McDuffie, in fact, is going to get a penalty kick right here. And just about 8 minutes into this match, not even, looking to pace the first score of the game on. McDuffie the kick, and it's in. Right to Ferrari Henry's left. And BSU with an early 1-0 lead.
Audrey McDuffie had a good scoring opportunity there. Quick thinking on the Suffolk side with the defense, was able to stop it, but the foul is going to result in the goal anyway. So the Bears quickly jump ahead 1-0.
McDuffie picks up her second goal of the season. She was the only Bear scorer against MIT the other night. Remains the only scorer of the season for Bridgewater State so far. And it's the Bears with a 1-0 advantage. 37.5 to go in the first half.
That one went out of bounds off the foot of Duran. So throw in here for Suffolk.
McDuffie has 2 goals in 2 matches. Last season she had 1 goal the whole year. And it's exactly that kind of player development that BSU is looking for as they sort of reimagine their roster. On the ground, no whistle, and Dewhurst is going to keep rolling with it. Up ahead, trying to set somebody up, but Suffolk with the man advantage, and they're able to get it out of the way. That one kicked out of bounds for some reason by Brown. It's going to be Suffolk throw-in. There's immediately pick it off. And here's McDuffie. Toss aside. Robarge trying to get in there, but it's kicked away from her. Suffolk just have not been able to keep the ball in BSU territory. It has been Bridgewater's game on the offensive end so far, even though the only score was a penalty kick. Rolling towards the goal line, and that's offside. A potentially threatening Bears drive, nipped in the bud by the flag. 36 to go in the first half. Bears with a 1-0 lead off of McDuffie's penalty kick. That one's just kept inside by Brown.
Some good footwork there on the edge by Bailey Brown to keep that inbound.
Chris Afidi's trying to do the same, but instead, unfortunately, hands it off to a Suffolk player. Kylie Flynn, the junior from Stoughton, another Spelman grad, trying to get it up ahead, but it's a little bit too far, and it's a BSU goal kick. Levesque last year was also go-to in net for BSU. Averaged just about 1.3 goals allowed per game with a 79.8% save percentage. 10 wins, 5 losses, and a draw under her belt on the year.
And just her freshman year, too. Those are some pretty good stats.
Not bad at all. Suffolk trying to take advantage of the opportunity here and keep it in BSU territory. Looks like it's Claudia Ruschi, the senior from Beverly, who is trying to keep it there on the far side. Kicked right out of bounds, and it looks like somebody's shin guard went flying. Something just fell off of somebody's leg. Perhaps a cleat, perhaps a shin guard. Looks like everything's back in working order.
I think that was Sydney Dewar's shin guard got flung out of her. I mean, that's kind of impressive.
That's an important piece of equipment to have on. Bears immediately kick it right out of bounds again. I believe that was Jenna Sweeney, the sophomore from Wilmington. This time they'll actually try to keep it in. No more slash and burn defense, but it's going to roll out of bounds anyway. Suffolk now with a chance to have sustained possession in BSU territory, something they've been seeking for most of the match so far, but BSU comes away with it. Oh, right to the feet of Alyssa Belmont, the East Bridgewater native, but it's picked off yet again by Abigail Shea. Shea now up ahead. She delivers it directly to Grace Owens for Suffolk, and the Rams are back on offense. Quick collision. Just a mess at midfield. Nobody able to hang on to it for more than a few seconds. Suffolk with some initiative now. Here's Sweeney trying to slow down the pace a little bit and let BSU get set up. Dewhurst. Dewhurst feels a boot in her, but it's wide.
A little bit to the right for Sydney Dewhurst, a little over to the left, and we might have been talking about our second goal of the game just 13 minutes in.
Instead, significantly less drama and another goal kick for Ferrari Henry. 32.5 to go in the first half. Bears with a 1-0 advantage. Goal kick comes right back over to BSU initially, but now Suffolk trying to get it out of their own end. Up ahead to Petronio, the Connecticut native. Another fight back in Suffolk territory, and this one a much firmer boot up ahead at midfield. Only one Ram even in the vicinity. It is in fact Petronio, but she can't quite get to it in time. I stand corrected. That is in fact Columbus, number 6, not number 8. Columbus, the Bridgewater native. A couple of Bridgewater and East Bridgewater natives doing battle with their hometown college's side. Out again, and this time it actually was Petronio dueling for it. It'll stay with Suffolk. Throw-in misses the head of Columbus, and it's going to be in the hands of the Bears.
That one got away from the Bears for a second. Bailey Brown's going to kick it out of bounds.
Bears playing defense in their own end, primarily by just kind of socking the thing off to the side. Started out very aggressive on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, it's been a lot more about avoiding fights. Petronio with some footwork, trying to set somebody up on the side, and that is just to the left of the flag for a throw-in. Or is it? Are they going to? No, it is a throw-in. A throw-in very near the corner, though. That one rolling down, and it is staying in bounds. It's going to come right over to McDuffie. McDuffie feeling some energy. She's trying to break now.
It was good ball placement by Brown, able to get that to McDuffie while keeping it in bounds at the same time.
Chrysophides sent it across to Robarge. Robarge trying to get up, set somebody up off to the side, and it is right into the midst of Ferrari Henry.
Robarge really had no other option other than just to kick it herself, and Ferrari Henry makes the save as she's done multiple times so far.
A very decent attempt at a setup by Olivia Robarge, but Arden Ferrari Henry was right on top of it. Columbus up ahead trying to set up, I believe, Charlie Adams, the junior from Southern California. Bears looking to fight it out of their own end, but now Suffolk feels the energy. A kick from Flynn, and it is right into the gloves now of Levesque. Kylie Flynn, the Spelman grad, with that shot on goal. Levesque, not a deep kick from her goal. That's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Rams. Just about 29 minutes to go in the first half. Bears lead with the only goal so far, but the Rams are fighting tooth and nail to level this thing up. Petronio up ahead trying to grab Columbus, and that one is booted out of bounds by Dewhurst. First few minutes of this game, as the scoreboard might tell you, it was all Bears all the time, but Suffolk now starting to get some energy. Set across, almost trying to make it a set piece, but it's interrupted. Bears now trying to hang on to it. A collision there between McDuffie and Porter. Foul is going to be, I believe on Porter.
I believe it's on Suffolk. Some good work there. Audra McDuffie controlling the ball there. Got tripped up with Porter.
Looked from my untrained eye like a bit of a mutual collision, but it's going to be Avery Porter who's tagged for that one.
Sydney Dewars moved the ball back a little bit over to directly the 50-yard line.
Bears free kick. It's deep. That's a boot. Ferrari Henry's in danger until she's not. Good spatial awareness, and she's able to get right underneath the second bounce.
That was a close call there for Ferrari Henry. Good free kick by Sydney Dewhurst.
And more than a couple of white jerseys crowding her in her own penalty area as well.
If someone went up for the header there, and if they got on that, that would have been the second goal of the game.
Good steal by Petronio. It's rolling lazily back to Levesque, who's going to step way out of her goal to kick it back to midfield. Bears drawing triangles in their own end.
That's a deep kick in.
Collision there. Columbus had her eyes on a steal, and she gets it. Petronio now doing battle at midfield with Sweeney. Bears win it back.
Ooh. There was a great opportunity there for another Bears goal.
Avery Porter's going to feel that header in the morning. Another one coming towards Ferrari Henry, but she's there in time.
Avery Porter's header broke up what could have been a very easy route to a goal for Jessica Duran.
She certainly used her noggin on that play. At midfield, Adams. Gets it over to Porter. Porter just breaking through the one-woman wall of Duran. Trying to set somebody up ahead, but it is going to be Lessard who wins the foot race. Nearly out of bounds. That just barely stayed in. That could easily have been a corner. It'll be a whistle instead.
Collision right there, I think.
Another foul, it looks like, on Suffolk.
Not sure what the jersey number 7, Claudia Rushy, who got a little bit physical with, is that Dewhurst?
Rushy from Beverly, but played her high school ball at Hamilton Wenham.
Abby Shea with it now.
Shea looking for a setup, but feeds it right to the boots of Grace Owens from Sutton. Suffolk trying to work now. Petronio up ahead, trying to set up, but can't quite keep it with Columbus, and Levesque can roll out to grab it. A ball with potential, but it was just a little bit too high for Columbus to grab at that angle.
A good kick in by Levesque.
Bears trying to work through some traffic. That one is an unfortunate pass over there, and it comes right to the boots of Belmont. Bears steal it back. Here's Sweeney. This is her target. It's been a game of missed connections at midfield so far for both these sides. 24.5 to go in the first half. Bears will let that one roll out for a goal kick. Suffolk will make the first substitution of the evening. Charlie Adams gets a breather. Her replacement will be Lily Goldman, the sophomore from Plymouth. Played her high school ball at Rising Tide. Dangerous rebound as Suffolk tried to keep it in their own end. Ends up just rolling out for a Rams goal kick. Not really sure why there's another ball on the pitch.
Not sure.
Neither were they.
Ferrari Henry put her hands in the air. She was going to go get the ball that was already there.
So Ferrari Henry with the goal kick. Suffolk now trying to keep the energy. Here's Goldman, who just came in, trying to keep it on the near side, but she's going to lose the foot race to Brown. Out of bounds, it stays with the Rams. Belmont, 2-on-1, and it's taken back by the Bears. Duran, up ahead, can't quite hit Sydney Souza, who just came into the game. Souza in for Mia Chrysofides. And Jenna Sweeney getting a breather. In her place, Alexis Vanderzide, the junior from Middleborough. Brown with the throw-in. Vanderzide. Bit of a boot there. De facto free kick from Dewhurst trying to set up McDuffie for number 2, but it is interrupted, coming way out of her goal as Ferrari Henry, and it pays off.
Risky play there for Ferrari Henry, but it's going to work out. McDuffie almost had her second goal of the game.
Would have been her third of the season. She smelled blood. But Arden Ferrari Henry had other ideas. Bears, of course, lead 1-0 off of McDuffie's penalty kick. Just under 22 to go in the first half. Booted back over and trying to get on it is Alicia Beebe for Suffolk. She'll win the initial battle. Gets it back over to Owens. Now stuck at midfield though, and here come the Bears. Shea. Trying to roll around, seemingly with McDuffie sort of setting a screen almost. Interesting way to play the offense. Angled back in. Missed the head of Duran. Suffolk trying to set up somebody, but to no avail. Looks like it was Rushi, but she just lost the foot race. Porter on the side with Souza here. 1-on-1. Whistle, foul, and it's going Suffolk's way.
Some pleads from the Bridgewater fans there, pleading the case for Souza.
Sydney Souza flies a little bit too close to the sun on that possession, and it's a free kick for the Rams, albeit from very deep in their own end. McDuffie gets her pocket picked by Owens, and Suffolk coming the other way. Here's Flynn. Up ahead to Columbus. Trying to set up Goldman, but it is too much for her to get to. No whistle on the contact there. Fans weren't feeling it.
Now that you can't do that chance coming out.
My goodness, I think I hear the drum in the stands already. It's that time of year, folks. Under 20 to go in the first half. Bears with a 1-0 lead. Flynn playing keep away. Long setup up ahead. Goldman trying to cash in, but she's playing 2-on-1 ball. Goldman trying to win the foot race. She will not.
Nice job keeping that ball in bounds for Bridgewater, but Suffolk's going to be able to recover it.
Dewhurst doing a lot of that action there. Suffolk now trying to cash in. That angle was blocked. That one is up. That one is just a bit wide. Columbus nearly leveled that one, but instead it's a BSU goal kick.
Bears able to avoid disaster right there. A little over 26 minutes have been played in this first half. 18:45 remain.
Bears looking for their first win of the year in their home opener. Suffolk looking to improve to 2-0-1. A few substitutions. McDuffie will actually come out of the game for Bridgewater State. Stephanie Spear will come in her place. The senior from Blackstone, a Norfolk Aggie grad. Duran will also sub out for BSU. Coming in her place is Skylar Conrad, the sophomore from Walpole. And Suffolk will make one as well. Chelsea Fallon, the junior from Florida who got the start for the Rams tonight, will come out in favor of the Nevada native, the freshman Isa Pereza.
The Bears have to throw in Suffolk territory.
Rams try to win it back. It's escorted out by Belmont. Flynn. Up over to the side. Looks like Pereza. But it comes right back to the Bears, and they give a little bit of a rebound. Petronio trying to control at midfield. When it rains, it pours on the offensive ends for both these teams. Souza trying to do her best to keep it in, but couldn't quite get the angle on it she wanted. Throw in comes to Goldman. Souza. Across. Nobody quite there to set up. Although Conrad is trying to roll in as fast as she can. She is nipped in the bud by a combination of Porter and Ferrari Henry. The latter of whom will kick it out from the end of her 18. Shea. Up ahead, that one breezed by a couple pairs of legs. I believe it's Lessard. On the far side, a little bit of a tumble. And we're going to have some more subs. .16 minutes to go in the first half. Bridgewater with a 1-0 advantage over the visiting Rams. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, last time these two sides played, a year ago yesterday, Bears won 5-0. Here's your subs for the Bears. Vanderzide will come out, her replacement. Samantha Blanchard, the freshman from Brockton. For the Rams, Kylie Flynn will come out, her substitution, Camille Morentrada. And Alicia Beebe also coming out for the Rams. Malia Young will come in her place from Wakefield, Rhode Island. That ball was out of the park entirely. Just about 15 minutes to go in the half. Goldman doing the dance, kicks it back towards Suffolk territory. Here's Owens. Goldman again trying to control. Handed back over to the Bears temporarily. Petronio. A boot, but it's not going to have enough gas to get past Levesque. Kick starts out with Suffolk. Owens will try to keep it in her own end. Bears have other ideas. That was Robards just barging in. But it strays just a little bit.
A little bit too much on that one for the Bears. We haven't seen that much offense since early in the game when Audra McDuffie scored the initial goal off of that free kick.
Bears offense, like you mentioned, very aggressive in the opening minutes. And drawing contact too. The McDuffie PK, the only score of the game so far, with under 14 to go in the first half. Suffolk with a throw in here. Morentrada Up ahead. Will it be too far for Pereza? No, Pereza catches up, tries to put one in from the side, interrupted. Looks like it was Lessard who broke that one up.
Some more good defense for the Bears, trying to make Logan Levesque's job a little bit easier. Not letting up too many shots on net tonight.
Levesque has just one credited save so far, at least insofar as my live stats have updated. Could very well be two, depending on how you score that last sidewinder in from Pereza. Probably not. On the other side of the field, meanwhile, Ferrari Henry has 3 saves. Petronio. Across now to Morentrada. Morentrada trying to poke her way in. Little too slow. Levesque's out. The right idea, but it just didn't have the velocity it needed off the boot of Camille Morentrada. Freshman from Westminster.
Levesque gets that one in deep. Abby Shea had it initially for the Bears.
Brown. And a bit of a fight, rebounds that one off the boot of Goldman. And it'll stay with the Bears. Under 12 to go in the first half. A couple more subs making their way in. Looks like Natalie Matos coming in for BSU. Freshman from Fairhaven, a Greater New Bedford Voc Tech graduate. And for the Rams, Jasmaya Harris, the junior from East Providence.
Looks like that one's going to sneak out off of a Bears player. I think that's Blanchard.
Suffolk throw-in. Petronio doing the dance with Spear. Suffolk will hang on to it. Petronio getting it back at midfield. BSU tried to cut in but just couldn't. Owens over to the side for Porter. Porter across, trying to link up, but instead gives it away. Set up attempt by Lessard, but no one's able to get to it in time, and Ferrari Henry's out. Ten and a half to go in the first half. Whistle, foul, Bridgewater ball.
The Bears looking to add on something here with the last 10 minutes or so we have left to play in the first half.
Those substitutions, by the way, Matos came in for Olivia Robarge, and Harris came in for Claudia Rusci. Petronio at midfield. Trying to set somebody up, thinking Harris, a little bit too far for her. Under 10 in the half. Levesque will take a goal kick. Suffolk trying to control in their own end. Leah Young trying to get a little bit of a piece of it. Bounced around in the air. And now Suffolk hangs on to it more firmly. Across to Porter. Boot up ahead. It was a little bit too much for Columbus to handle. Bears trying to send it out off to the side for a Suffolk throw-in. .840 left in the first half. Bears, as we mentioned, 1-0 lead. McDuffie with the PK early in the match. Harris trying to seize an opportunity, but it's booted away from her.
Some good defense there by the Bears right in front of the net. Because Maya Harris had what looked like a great opportunity to score.
Out of bounds, Bridgewater State throw-in. They're trying to work quickly. Headed out by the Rams. And Suffolk will have a chance to set their defense a little bit more firmly.
It's looking like Spear was trying to get McDuffie on that. Bailey Brown's throwing it in now for the Bears.
Her target, Spear. Harris now given an easy chance to take it away, and that's exactly what she'll capitalize on. That's a crash at midfield. Goodness gracious. Whistle. And that's going to be a Suffolk foul. Or excuse me, a foul against Suffolk is what I mean to say. My words are failing me here.
It looks like
Pereza. Nisa Pereza got the worst end of that combined jump at midfield. She's up and on her feet, thankfully, and it's going to be a Rams free kick.
Not sure who that Bears player was, but those two both went up for that ball and both came down hard. Luckily, both of them are still on the field and okay.
Suffolk with another substitution. Belmont is out. Kylie Perrin, the junior from Norfolk, is in. Out for a BSU goal kick. Levesque the boot, headed back down by Columbus, and Suffolk hanging on. Pereza up ahead to Columbus, trying to set somebody up, but nobody's in range.
Levesque just going to scoop that one up in front of the net. Just under 6.5 left to play here.
Looked like it was Goldman who started careening towards the net, trying to cash in on that setup. Bears trying to hang on to it more firmly now. Here's Matos. Bears lose it. Porter. And back to Ferrari Henry.
It's right to a Bear. I think that's Shea.
Shea it was. To Matos. She's interrupted by Columbus. That was an interesting defensive play. Bears wrestle it back for a brief snippet of time before Suffolk starts angling it the other way, but not really able to give it a whole ton of clearance. Petronio trying to add a little bit more to that now, and she does. Out of bounds, last touch by Ram feet. Neither of these sides on the offensive end has been able to truly get over on the other so far in this match. A couple of stout defenses, not letting any plays take shape, perhaps. And that one's just a smidget wide. Holy smokes, I almost spoke too soon.
Some good defense there by Ferrari Henry. And as you were saying, no teams really had much going on offense. The one goal came off of that penalty.
That was quite a setup for Spear, but just a little bit too much. 4.5 to play in the first half.
That's going to be a goalie kick.
Ferrari Henry is actually credited with a save on that play. More Entrada up ahead. Headed backwards. Bears trying to work. Up ahead, just misses Spear. Back out, and it's Suffolk ball. Matos Up ahead, misses Spear. That one sent back by Owens.
Nice slap.
Collision down there, and thankfully the referee was in my way so I couldn't see who it was. Spear trying to get in on the side. She's interrupted by Porter.
I think one of the players was Malia Young for Suffolk. Actually, that more likely it was Kylie Parent. Couldn't tell if it was 16 or 18 again. Thank you to the official.
But they're just doing their job. Last touch by Spear, it would seem. It's a goal kick for Ferrari Henry. Goldman trying to do the dance, gets her pocket picked. That one missed everybody, Bear and Ram, and it's going to roll lazily over to Levesque, who'll step out to pick it up. 2.5 to go in the first half. Bears up 1-0. Spear.
Ooh.
Back now, another collision. Goldman just kind of steamrolled there.
The ref's just letting him play.
To a point. It was Lessard who effected that collision. Whistle, offsides.
Seen a couple offsides for the Bears already this game.
This one much further from the goal than the previous one.
The other one, they were in the football end zone.
Sweeney just going to set up for a free kick. Disputed around. Here comes Souza. Trying to work in on the left side. Doing the dance with Malia Young. And that's going to rumble out for another goal kick.
Some good defense there by Malia Young, the freshman defender from Wakefield, Rhode Island.
Just one corner in the entire match so far. It was taken by BSU fairly early and did not result in any kind of offensive breakthrough. Goldman taken to ground, but no whistle.
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
You could argue that that missed scoring opportunity by Spear should have resulted in a corner, but the refs opted for the goal kick instead. More contact.
Goldman's going to hit the deck again, and this time there will be a whistle in her favor. Official coming in to check, and Goldman getting to her feet.
Goldman walks it off. No trainer's going to come out, so it looks like she'll stay in the game. That's a good sign.
Suffolk will cash in with a free kick.
It's going to be Porter setting up for it.
Rams looking to level right before halftime. 16 seconds to go. Porter the free kick. It's got airtime, and it is just over the crossbar.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Close, and the Bears will try to wait out the half.
4,
The Bears will go into the break up 1-0. First goal, only goal of the game, came off of that penalty by Audra McDuffie, the senior, her second goal of the game, or second goal of the year. Remains the only Bears goal scorer across these two games.
So McDuffie puts the Bears in front in their home opener here at Peter Mazzaferro Field at the Swenson Athletic Complex. But will Suffolk have what it takes to tie this thing up or more in the second half? Bears 1, Rams 0. It's the Bears Sports Network. 45 down, 45 to go. Bears women's soccer up 1-0 on the Suffolk University Rams in BSU's home opener. First match of the year at the soon-to-be renamed Peter Mazzaferro Field at the Swenson Athletic Complex, renamed in honor, of course, of Peter Mazzaferro, a very special figure in Bridgewater State football. He and this institution and this field will be honored here tomorrow evening just before BSU takes on WPI. You can catch that on BTV, BSN as well.
Well, we'll have the call on that one as well. Kickoff starts at 7:30, or kickoff at 7. The ceremony starts at 6:30.
Bears once again trying to take the offensive initiative at the start of the half. Here's Sweeney. That one's up ahead, and what a diving save to get things started by Ferrari Henry. First action of the half, and Arden Ferrari Henry lays out for a dramatic save. But the other shoe drops, and it's a corner for BSU, just the second corner of the night, and Bridgewater now will have taken them both. Less than a minute into the second half. Corner in, a little bit of a lazy bouncer, but instead promptly given up for a third corner kick of the match. Looks like it was Flynn who sent that one back out. This one with some more altitude, but it's going out over the back and it's out of bounds. Corner kick by Chris Afides, just couldn't get the cut on it that she was looking for. And Ferrari Henry with a goal kick. Bears pretty much sending their starters back out wholesale after making some substitutions throughout the first half. Suffolk, most of their starters back out as well. Although a couple of folks who subbed in, I recognize Jasmine Harris, Malia Young, a couple others who subbed in. Collision there, no whistle on the play.
I think that was Skylar Conrad got leveled.
Robards trying to set something up. Chris Afides thinks she has something.
And she did.
We're doubled up here at Mazzaferro.
So number 26, Mia Chrysofides, scores his second goal of the game, becomes the second Bears goal scorer of the season, joining Audra McDuffie. And after what seemed like a very long time without any offense from either side, we finally have something here following that second goal of the game.
2 goal scorers now on the season for the Bears, and in the match, McDuffie with the first half PK, Chris Afides with her first goal of the season in the second. Bears 2, Rams 0.
Able to get a second chance there after the corners didn't go the way she would have liked. The Bears making quick work in the second half, under 3 minutes in.
Here's another player development stat for you, talking about goals from last year to next. Mia Chrysofides, in just the second match of the season so far for BSU, has her first goal. Last year, not a single goal at all. What a come-up for some of these players on this BSU side, exactly the kind of development they're seeking. So McDuffie and Chrysofides now both in the books. And the Rams will have a bit of an uphill battle for the next 41.5 minutes, trying to clamber back into the driver's seat. Robards credited with the assist on Chrysofides' goal, by the way. Olivia Robards, the sophomore from Pepperell. Robards picks up, in fact, what I believe is her first career assist with BSU. 2 goals last season, but no assists. And already in the second match, she's contributing on the offensive end.
Assisted by number 2, Olivia Robards at 42-49 in the second half.
Suffolk could have taken a corner, but instead just a little bit of an accidental last-minute touch will make it a BSU goal kick. Looks like it was Harris who was trying to slow herself down, but just couldn't quite put the brakes on in time.
Well, I'm training a whole new staff. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm only training 2.
Bears with a comfortable lead now, but a long way to go, and Suffolk will certainly be taking every opportunity they can find.
Risky move there by Levesque, but it goes her way. The Bears trying to get rid of the ball.
Suffolk keeping it in Bridgewater territory, though. Here's Rushi. Whistle. Play stops. Suffolk free kick.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Porter taking the free kick for the Rams.
Avery Porter, the freshman from Portland, Oregon. Just a two-woman wall for the Bears. It sails right over them, pushed up by Levesque, but she sends it out for a corner kick.
That was a close call. Good move by Logan Levesque, pushing that one away.
Rams now with the benefit of their first corner of the evening here in the second half. And a shot perhaps at scoring their first of the night on this set piece. Batted around, some danger zone, not quite cleared. Levesque trying to get in the way, a total mess, and a whistle and play stops.
Levesque ended up being the one who came up with it. There was a bunch of players on the ground. There was a lot going on right there.
Levesque is in fact not going to take the goal kick. I think that might have been, but don't quote me on that, might have been Dewhurst who took the goal kick in her stead.
Some good footwork here by Robarge.
Robart's trying to work in, but no Bears in the territory to gather it. Picked up by Belmont, who is back in the second half for the Rams after being subbed out in the first.
Looks like McDuffie might have read that one wrong. I think Robarge was looking for her, but McDuffie wasn't quite ready for it. Would have been a good opportunity for the Bears to tack on another one. McDuffie to score her third.
Chrysofides was trying to arc, but hit the ground, no foul. Adams now taking it the other way for the Rams. That one gets stopped up. Whistle, foul on the Bears now, excuse me. Sometimes you have these moments where you're debating in your mind whether to say the Bears or Bridgewater, and you get kind of mixed up and you say them both at the same time. I just had one of those, I think. Free kick for the Rams.
Been there before. There's also times I find during soccer, you're talking about one team possessing the ball, and then as you're getting that sentence out, they don't have it anymore.
Kind of just happened. Rams with a grip on it for the moment. Booted up ahead by Flynn.
Nice.
Not a half bad setup for Fallon. Trying to poke it across. That one's disrupted. Bears trying to make it a clean steal now, but that one is deflected out by Fallon. Lessard, who was trying to take it the other way. Bears 2, Rams 0. BSU seeking their first win of the season in their second match and their home opener. Rams 1-0-1 so far on the year, trying to avoid their first defeat. Robarge with the throw-in. I stand corrected. That was Selmeyer. Didn't see the whole number.
However, she was looking for Robarge on that throw-in, so not entirely mistaken.
Lauren Selmeyer, who I might say, if you ever watch Lauren Selmeyer take a free kick, you are in for a treat. She can kick that thing for miles, truly. Whole lot of force.
Levesque played that one on the ground, kicked it away, but Suffolk able to recover it.
Rams are really feeling the offensive pressure now. Trying to lay it down. That was supposed to be ahead for Harris, but just a little bit too far. She's trying to catch up at the far end, but gets scooped by the Bears. Set up attempt by Flynn for her.
Ooh, some contact.
Another collision. Woof. Thankfully, everybody back on their feet right away.
That's going to go against Suffolk.
Bears will get a free kick, albeit from deep in their own end. At midfield, that one bounces over Murray. .35.5 to go in the match. Boot from Adams. Up ahead. Harris trying to rush in to finish, but not quite in time. She'll deflect it out, and it's a Bears throw-in. This time it is BSU's turn, in fact, to kind of struggle to get it out of their own end here in the second half.
Seems whoever's on that right side of the field, it's been a problem for them all night.
It's the downhill side. Selmeyer over trying to hit Shea. A little bit too much deflection. McDuffie gets it back to her, but now she gets interrupted. What a pickoff there by Adams. Harris trying to stay on it, gets her own pocket picked. But it will stay with the Rams. Harris. Quick header by Adams to try to get it to ground. Booted off to the side by Sweeney for the Bears. Harris now intercepting a pass. Ruschi. Suffolk starting to smell blood. Here comes Fallon, and that one is deflected off to the side. Rolling, 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 and that is a Suffolk corner. Their second of the night and of the half.
Yeah, Suffolk hadn't taken a corner for the entirety of the first half, and they have two just in the first 12 or so minutes here of the second.
Bears have taken 3.
Nothing's come off of any of the corners yet.
Flynn with the corner. Suffolk looking for a set-piece score, but it is grabbed out of the air by Levesque.
Logan Levesque able to avoid the announcer's curse on that one. She boots this one away downfield.
A joust at midfield. Harris trying to keep it on ground, but it's given away. McDuffie trying to take it. Now the Bears are feeling some energy. Chrysophides rolling. Chrysophides can't quite catch up. No goalie in front. That's an easy push in for Robarge. Was that a 2 or a 4?
Not sure. Ferrari Henry got tripped up.
Depending on if my eyes are deceiving me, that was an exceptional finish by either Olivia Robarge or Abigail Shea, and we're going to get a number and name for you in just a second, but my gosh. Ferrari Henry runs into some trouble.
She got tripped up going for the save on Chrysophides, who initially was making that push, and I think you were right originally. I think it was Robarge who put that one in for the Bears. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It was Abby Shea. So,
Well, I tried.
Wait, no, it was Robarge.
I knew it. You know, I don't usually like to brag on broadcasts. But man, did I see that jersey number from far away. Robarge picks up her first score of the season. Chrysophides credited with a skillful assist. And it's a couple of substitutions now all the way across. Jessica Duran, who restarted in the second half. That one's got some airtime, but it's tall and wide.
Just a little bit too much on that one.
I'm trying to read off these substitutions here. Jessica Duran, who restarted in the second half, will get a breather. Sydney Sousa's on for her. For Suffolk, Harris and Murray, Madeline Murray, will get breathers. They will be replaced respectively by McKenna Columbus and Daniela Petronio. Robarge's next shot a little high and wide, but they're feeling the energy now. BSU with a 3-0 advantage.
Some momentum building for the Bears. So that's going to be a foul against them.
Suffolk now with a bit of a hole to dig out of. Just 31 minutes left in the match. And they're down 3 scores. Rams will take a free kick here and try to set something up. Owens.
That's a Bears goal, scored by number 2, Olivia Robar.
Porter.
Assisted by number 26, Mia Chrysofides at 34:52 of the second half. That's Robar from Chrysofides at 34:52.
Bears throw in on the way. Half an hour left in the match. Bears up 3-0 on the Rams.
Eight nothing in the last hour 45. Played against the Rams, of course, like you said, last time they played a year ago yesterday. 5-0 victory for the Bears. Very different team we have out here now.
Yes, indeed, but it sure seems like they're growing into exactly what they need. Here's another player development stat for you. Olivia Robarge, who had 2 goals the entire year last season, now has her first goal of the year in just the second match. Bridgewater was counting on so many of these underclassmen players to really step up to the plate, and that is exactly what they have been doing, if tonight is any proof. Trying to chase it down. That one's out of bounds, and that was sure something. Looks like it's just going to be a goal kick for Suffolk. Last touched, it would seem, by the Bears. Although it was close. 29 minutes to play. Bears trying to keep it. Lay down the pressure. Chrysofides. Double team now. Chrysofides trying to arc it in. Ferrari Henry, another dive, and she pushes it off to the side, but it's a BSU corner.
Good save, diving save there by Ferrari Henry, stopping Chrysofides from what would have been her second goal. The BSU corner, it looks like that's Robarge heading back there to take it.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, for all the set pieces we've seen tonight, and just a few, but for all the set pieces and corners we've seen so far this evening, none of those have resulted in scores. Corner, again behind, does not get the arc that BSU was looking for. It's a couple times that that's happened.
Yeah, the 2 by Chrysofides before this and that one by Robarge right there. There hasn't been much movement on the ball.
Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
And not windy at all or anything out there, so you can't be assisted by that.
No? A beautiful but humid night here in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Bears with a 3-0 lead in their home opener. Trying to continue to lay down the pressure. Porter with a boot. Kept away. Now Suffolk trying to grab some momentum.
Good play by the Bears. Knocking that one away was Lassard.
Dewhurst ultimately booting it back the other direction. It's been a couple times tonight that Lassard has not been afraid to get physical on defense. Suffolk trying to feel the heat. Here's Petronio. Petronio trying to set someone up. Can't quite get it past a white jersey. Rolling over off to the side now. Here's Fallon. Fallon watched by Selmeyer. It's deflected out of bounds. Stays with the Rams. Throw in by Beebe, who restarted the second half after being subbed out. Suffolk with a couple of substitutions. Beebe, in fact, did not restart. I stand corrected. She just came in for Malia Young. Charlie Adams also subbed out. Camille Moore and Trotta will retake the pitch. McDuffie at midfield, trying to start a breakaway. Shea trying to do the dance. Here's Robarge now on the near side. Hits the deck, whistle, foul, and that's going to be Moore and Trotta who picks that one up.
Yeah, it looks like she just shoved Robarge down. Can't do that, and that looks like...
No ill intent, but the defense a little tough.
It looks like Sydney Dewhurst will be taking the free kick for the Bears.
3-woman wall for the Rams. Looks like Fallon, Flynn, and Beebe. Dewhurst the free right over everyone, but it's going to be wide. Suffolk looking for the answer with 25 minutes left in the match. Flynn. To Porter. Stephanie Spear, the substitution for BSU. She comes in for Abby Shea. Kicked resoundingly out of bounds by the Bears, and it will be a Rams throw-in BSU territory. Trying to prevent a breakaway of their own. There's again with the slash and burn defense we saw some of in the first half, just kind of booting it off to the side. This time it paid off. Bears get the deflection and a throw-in. A whistle. That one's out of bounds again. This time Suffolk. Rolling the other way. It looks like Spear trying to get on it.
Porter, who eventually comes away with it for Suffolk.
Avery Porter temporarily outfoxes Spear, and the Rams trying to run the other way. Rushi hits the deck, absolutely flattened, and the Rams get a free kick for their trouble.
That was a Dewhurst that time. This has been a very physical game, both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a lot of contact.
All in good faith. But it has been a very physical game of football here tonight. 23.5 to go in the match. Free kick by Moore and Trotta. Up. Rolling around. Suffolk trying to find some energy. That one's a little bit of a roller and just out in time to beat Rushi to the punches, Levesque. Levesque, a high roller out to midfield. Rushi comes away with it. Suffolk looking for some energy. Moore and Trotta trying to work around the referee like a slalom cone, and she does. Moore and Trotta up ahead, trying to set somebody up. Lights on, nobody home, and Lassard pushes it back. Only as far as the 35-yard line. Fallon gets her pocket picked. Up ahead, Robarge is blazing up, trying to win the race with Beebe, and they are at it together. It's going to roll out of bounds. And it's a Suffolk goal kick.
Good attempt there by Robarge trying to get down to that. She was way behind. Ended up sprinting all the way up to it.
That was marathon speed to get even with Beebe on the play there. 22 minutes left for Suffolk to find the answers. They're down 3-0 to the Bears. Another Suffolk foul gives up a Bridgewater State free kick from midfield. Bouncer around, pushed out by Belmont. Bears trying to lay down the pressure. That one's going to rumble out of bounds. Just to the side of the flag. Suffolk throw in. Long shot intended for Petronio. Didn't quite get there. Robarge trying to set somebody up. That was headed out of the way and headed on to Dewhurst, who had no idea it was there, I don't think. It looked like it came at her kind of sideways. There's a boot, and that one's a little bit high.
Dewhurst's back was turned to that one. She did not know that was coming. That was Audra McDuffie.
McDuffie was feeling the spirit, looking for number 2, and her first goal in play of the match.
Now it looks like McDuffie's going to sub off, and it looks like Abby Shea's in for her.
Abby Shea, who in fact subbed out earlier in this half, but yes, indeed, she's on for McDuffie. Sydney Souza also will get a breather. Her replacement, Cheyenne Nelson, the junior from East Bridgewater. 20 minutes to play here at Peter Mazzaferro Field. Boot deflected. Sweeney couldn't get any energy there. Stopped up, and BSU will get the throw in. Even with a 3-goal lead, Bears not laying off at all.
Some trouble finding a throw-in for the Bears, but they get it off. Under 20 now.
Bears are trying to execute. Woof, that was a collision. Looks like it might have been McKenna Columbus who took the tumble.
She got up quick.
Drew the contact expertly, though. Floating around, Suffolk trying to hang on. That one disrupted. Looks like it was Sweeney who got in the middle.
Kind of glossed over this a little bit earlier, but I just got word. That was the first collegiate career goal from Mia Crucifidis. Granted, that was like 20-something minutes ago.
No, but it's a special thing.
It is a very special.
It is a very special thing, and congratulations certainly to her.
Worked her way into the starting job this year with some of the departures we've seen, and she gets in the first home game of the year, her first collegiate goal. Also picked up an assist tonight.
Well, it's something I know we've alluded to, some of the development we've seen from these players who maybe didn't have the chance to post an offensive stat last year, now seeing their time to shine, and they are absolutely capitalizing on it, certainly in this match tonight, and I imagine it will be the same for the rest of the season to come.
Yeah, this is a team that's ran very deep in talent for a long time, and that's showing here tonight with newcomers like Crucifidis and Robarge scoring.
Robarge trying to set somebody up aside, but she delivers it directly to Grace Owens, who is right on top of that like white on rice. Fallon loses it on the attempted pass. Bears trying to work some last-minute magic, but it stays with Suffolk. Just under 18 to go in the match. Boot up ahead by Flynn. Trying to catch Rushi. Rushi across. That one not quite getting the velocity. I think that might have been Petronio who was having a look at that. Robarge up ahead, lights on, nobody home. Spears trying to win the foot race, but it ends up out of bounds. Rams get another goal kick. Couple more subs for BSU. Wish they had the boards they hold up with the substitution numbers. That'd be real helpful from up here, I can tell you.
I think one of them was Samantha Blanchard. Looks like she came in there. I could not tell you who the other one was. Only was able to get a look at her jersey.
You are right. Samantha Blanchard in. She comes in for Jenna Sweeney. And Skylar Conrad re-entering on behalf of Mia Crucifidis. Suffolk trying to break in. Rolling fast, hitting the deck, rolling for it. Looks like that was more Entrada. Bears trying to keep the initiative now. Crowd didn't like what they saw. And Fallon taking a second to check her knee before continuing on. She still looks like she's moving just a little bit gingerly. Bears trying to set up for a second one. That's a collision. Ferrari Henry puts her body on the line for a save.
I think that was,
Stops up Conrad.
and it was Skylar Conrad right into Ferrari Henry.
End result is, in fact, going to be a BSU corner.
Similar to what we saw on that Robarge goal where she ran into Crucifidis going for the save.
Bears looking for 4-0 on the set piece. This time more arc. Cleared out initially, but a whistle and a foul. And looked like there was some tough contact there. We saw Porter hit the deck.
Looks like that might have been Conrad again.
Our official trying to figure something out. No cards, no punishment. No, I stand corrected. I looked up at just the wrong time. Sydney Dewhurst is in the book. After some physical play tonight, she picks up a yellow.
Second Bears yellow of the year. Bailey Brown picked one up in the first game.
We're hearing in the booth, and I'm glad I'm not going crazy. I did not even see our official tonight hold up that card. Goodness gracious me. So Sydney Dewhurst becomes the first booking of the match for either side. Porter trying to chase it down, but it rolls out, and it's going to be a Suffolk goal kick.
So some substitutions coming on here for Suffolk. Amongst them, Ashley Casino Henriquez. Nope. That is that 21 or is that 24? Her hair's blocking the rest of the number.
We're going to find out in just a moment when
I
it
think
pops up on our live stats.
that was Isa Pereza.
Pereza saw action in the first half. We're going to find out more definitively in just a moment. But Suffolk evidently looking to shake some things up. I'm telling you, we need one of the substitution number boards, I swear. That one is wide, a little bit of a dart there.
They definitely come in handy, and it looks like that is Pereza.
Indeed it is. She comes in for Fallon, and Lily Goldman steps in for Rushi.
A couple of players we've seen here a little bit already tonight.
Dewhurst was looking to avenge her yellow card with a shot there, but it was wide. Robarge, who scored tonight, will get a breather. Nina DeRusso comes in her place. DeRusso, the freshman from Braintree, seeing some action here tonight. DeRusso already at work on the near side. She gets into a little bit of a pushing match there with Pereza. No harm, no foul. They're both up on their feet, thankfully. DeRusso putting her body on the line, and it earns a Bears throw-in. Suffolk another substitution. Porter will come out. Her replacement, Braden Radford.
Looks like Selmayer's going to kick it.
Radford, a grad student from New Hampshire. Selmayer and her boot trying to arc it right into the goal. Deflected and then caught back up off the bounce by Ferrari Henry.
Very well placed by Selmayer.
Selmayer can get some real distance on her free kicks. I said it already tonight, and I stand by it. Exemplifies it with a shot on goal from the side. Just under 12 minutes to play here at Peter Mazzaferro Field. Bears 3, Rams nothing. McDuffie, Chrysofides, and Robarge have all found the back of the net tonight for the Bears. Another collision, no whistle.
Slow to get up, but eventually getting up was, I think,
I believe Petronio. Thankfully back up on her feet and moving. Suffolk with a throw in after the out of bounds. Up ahead, Suffolk looking for their setup. A little bit of a bouncer. Pereza trying to roll in, but Levesque's out in front.
So the Bears with 10 minutes left to play in the game, just looking to carry this 3-0 lead over, maybe tack on a little bit extra, but not let anything up. They do have some wiggle room to do that, but obviously you're not going to want to.
And Suffolk as well, not letting up as well. Just unable to find the spark yet for a perfect score. Petronio being absolutely dogged by Conrad, it looks like.
Got tripped up for a second there, but recovered it. Ball's back with Suffolk.
Looking for a setup, aimed for Pereza, but headed out of the way by Selmayr. Bears rolling the other way, but it's Suffolk with the numbers advantage deep in their own end, and that one is booted off to the side. And just became a souvenir. Grace Owens with a little bit of a bouncer, helped by the rubbery track. And it was a 4D experience for the fan section with the drum down in the stands.
Bounced in right back out of the bleachers. Now we have a Bears throwing.
Selmayr tosses. Headed out of bounds yet again. Dangerously close to corner kick territory. I would have been a little bit freaked out if I was heading that one that way. This time, in fact, it will be Suffolk. I stand corrected. Suffolk with the throw-in. Apparently last touched by a Bridgewater State Bear. Pereza gets on top of it after it goes to ground and drops it back into her own end. Suffolk trying to find something, anything, to get a score here in the final 9 minutes and change of the match. Out of bounds, and it's going BSU's way. Looks like some more substitute action.
Looking for Blanchard on the throw, and a little bit too much on that. Finds the wrong number 5. It was Kylie Flynn, the junior for Suffolk.
It is a BSU substitution. It's Jessica Duran, the freshman who got the start tonight, will come back into the match. She will replace Stephanie Spear. That's a good ball. Trying to capitalize on it is Goldman. She gets double teamed and interrupted. Goldman on the deck. No whistle.
That was a clean play by the Bears, I think. I think that was Sydney Dewars.
Dewars just played a very physical brand of soccer tonight to the tune of the only yellow card of the match. That's an attempted setup for Conrad, but she's getting interrupted. Looks like it's Braden Radford getting in the mix and able to buy Ferrari Henry enough time to interrupt. That one's bounced back out for a goal kick for Suffolk. It happened again. I was trying to decide whether to say the Rams or Suffolk, and I just kind of get tongue-tied. 7.5 to play. Bears with a comfy lead. Columbus tumbling on the side. No whistle. Petronio trying to send it back the other way, gets interrupted.
I think that might have been a self-inflicted fall by Columbus.
It's possible. Owens just kicks it out of bounds. Sets up a BSU throw-in deep in Suffolk territory.
Selmayr's going to take it.
A heave, headed aside, kept in the air by Shea. Back to the Bears. Here's Lessard, or Lessard. Is it Lessard? Lessard? want to make sure I'm putting my emphasis in the right place. That one's booted off to the side by Bailey Brown.
Honestly, I'm not sure either. She's had herself a good game, though. Played a very physical brand of soccer.
Yes, indeed. Just over 6 to play. Out of bounds off the boot of Grace Owens. Bears trying to put the finishing touches on their first victory of the season. Suffolk trying to find something, anything to come out of here without a shutout. And to that point, Logan Levesque with a clean sheet so far tonight.
Down goes out of bounds off the foot of a Bears player.
Bears with another substitution. Shea gets a breather. Vanderzijde back in for her. Vanderzijde saw some first half action as well.
Okay, Detroit Lions making a statement on the first quarter. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, don't look over here.
Suffolk trying to find some energy. Pereza trying to close in and start up a play. Pereza off to the side. That'd be a good ball, but it's interrupted at first. Suffolk not quite cleared, but it's going to be wide out the goal end.
Goes way out of bounds, making our event staff jog for that one a little bit. Under 5 left to go here in the second half.
Levesque, who has received ample help certainly tonight from her teammates, but has made some great plays of her own. Headed out of bounds by a Ram. Might have been Pereza. She was in the vicinity.
Far throwing. For Robarge.
Off the head of Blanchard.
Or, I'm sorry, that was Blanchard, not Robarge. Got the 5 and the 2 mixed up.
That's okay. Pereza trying to interrupt a can. It will stay with Suffolk, however. Here's Flynn trying to work through some traffic. She gets deflected by Selmeyer, and that's out of bounds, staying with the Rams. Beebe the throw-in.
Covered well by DeRusso. That one's going to go off her foot, so throw in now for Suffolk.
Nina DeRusso's made a couple of tough defensive plays along the line in the time she's been on the pitch so far tonight. Up and out, but stays with Suffolk.
Some good defense by the Bears, not letting Suffolk get anything. It's been that way the whole game.
Rams are trying to inch their way back to the 18 and see if they can put a 1 on the board. 3.5 to play, a little less.
Bears soccer will be back Saturday, September 9th. My God.
That's okay.
Salve Regina at 2 p.m. Struggling there for a second. It's a double-header soccer action. Men's and women's will be going.
Mm-hmm. Setup interrupted. Rolling back over into cozier territory for Suffolk. Pereza gets it up ahead to Petronio. Working through and trying to break fast is Morentrada. Rolling up, seeking some action, and right into the mitts of Levesque.
Couple scary moments there, trying to keep her clean sheet with 2.5 minutes left to go in the game. And she does a good job of diving to her left, making the save there.
Some tough work by McKenna Columbus, but Levesque on top of it. 2.5 to play. Suffolk looking for another quick break. Here's another setup. Looks like it's Morentrada, but it's wide. Suffolk will get a corner for their trouble. The deflection there. Paying off with a chance for another set piece as we're within 2 minutes. I believe it's Flynn taking it. The boot. Headed around, rolling, and it's just right of the goal. Rams with the right idea, but just off by the slightest angle. Levesque will actually leave the goal kick to Selmeyer. DeRusso gets her puck picked by Pereza.
1 minute remaining in the game. 1 minute.
That one's going to go out of bounds off the foot of, she won't turn around. I can't see her jersey number, but it was a Suffolk player nonetheless. Someone in the 20s.
I believe it was Beebe who affected it, but it was deflected, or at least initially seemed that way. I guess Beebe, a clean shot out of bounds. I thought that Conrad might have been in the way. It looks like she was not. Pereza over to Beebe. Beebe trying to keep it in, and she does.
Nice
Gives it away.
DeRusso able to break that one up and put this one's put out in front of the net.
Jessica Duran trying to put some more action on in the Suffolk penalty box. Ferrari Henry having none of it in the final seconds of what sure seems to be BSU's first victory of the season.
I'd be willing to bet it is, as that one goes out of bounds.
9,
It was off Nina DeRusso.
7, 6, 5, 4,
The count is down.
2, 1.
The lights are on. And BSU with a home opener victory at Peter Mazzaferro Field improves to 1-1-0. Suffolk facing their first defeat of the young season, but plenty of time left for both of these sides to make waves in their respective conferences. MASCAC certainly for BSU, the Commonwealth Coast Conference for Suffolk. Two teams that put on a tough fight tonight, but it is the Bears by a 3-0 advantage who take the win. Scores by Robarge, McDuffie, and Chrysophides. I'm freezing on these names, I swear.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day, but a good day it has been for BSU. They get the W against the Suffolk University Rams, 3-0 here at Peter Mazzaferro Field at the Swenson Athletic Complex on the campus of Bridgewater State University. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Bears Sports Network. I'm Matt Donahue.
And I'm Luke Mansfield.
We'll catch you next time with more Bears sports action. And remember that every day is a great day to be a Bear. Take care, folks.
I'll tell